When you first start reviewing AI outputs, manual feedback is useful, but it doesn't give you an idea of what's going on with your prompt at scale. To improve a system, you need patterns that give you actionable things to improve on. Instead of treating each piece of feedback in isolation, we can aggregate your annotations and group them into recurring issue groups. These clusters represent failure modes that show up across many runs. So now we're ready to look at the issues that were created based on the annotations that we did in the last video. All right, so we're coming here and we see that we have 4 issues that have been created. So each of the annotations we had was put into one of these baskets. And these baskets were created, these issues, these failure modes, or however you want to call them, were created based on the similarity of those annotations. So now let's get an understanding of what's going on with our prompt. So we're going to start with the most pressing issues, which are the issues that have the most events tied to them. And then we're going to go on to the issues that have less events. Now, starting here, we have first tool call fails to extract website information. So if we click on that, we'll see all the logs that we have associated with that issue. And we can go in here and click on the log, and then it'll pull up the exact annotation we did and the log that it corresponded to. Now, that had 5 events, and we also had 5 events over here on this issue. For a response field must be a string, not a JSON object. So let's click over here and let's take a look. The JSON outputs responses field should only contain a plain string representing the assistant's answer. Embedding another JSON object within this field is incorrect and violates the expected output structure. Okay. And then here we have another one with 4. So it's similarly pressing. We're going to click on that and see that duplicate tool invocations causing redundant operations. So the system makes redundant calls to the same tool multiple times instead of a single invocation, leading to inefficiency and unnecessary repetition in operations. So now we understand what the issues are, but what do we do with this? Do we just start iterating upon this and then fix the issues and see if it just gets better? Well, really, you could do that, and then you could go back and annotate and see that the issues are gone. But here, the problem here is that we don't really have a scientific understanding of the gravity of each of these issues. And if we were to fix them, we don't really have a way to measure that the fix worked. Unless we go back and we annotate traces again, and we see somehow after doing a bunch of traces that the issue just doesn't seem to appear anymore. But really the key here is this seem to appear. That's really not scientific enough, and if we want to create reliable products, we can't rely on those types of seem. We need to know. And the way we're going to do that is with evaluations. So each of these issues is actually going to become an evaluation. Now we're going to see exactly how those work in the next video, but what we can do here is, so you'll see this evaluation here, we can hit generate. And what that's going to do is automatically generate an evaluation for the specific issue that we've created. So evaluations kind of have a symbiotic relationship with the prompt. They are attached to the prompt, and whenever a log comes in, the evaluations are automatically run, and the result of that evaluation is automatically funneled into one of these categories based on the failure mode. So if the evaluation failed, it would be considered another log in this issue. And then we can see how, through doing that, and if we collapse this, we'll be able to watch these trends here. Okay? And this is going to be able to give us a better understanding. Right here, we just have 5 events, and 4 events. Really, we have no understanding of the priority of what energy are we going to put into prompt engineering to fix an issue. You know, we want to always address the issues that are the most pressing. And so this is going to give us that understanding. So concluding the issue discovery step of the reliability loop, we'll proceed on to evaluation. And we'll see in the next video the types of evaluations we can make. And also, we'll start creating evaluations for each of these issues.